Hi everyone, it is Dani and welcome to this updated video. I hope you're doing good today. Let's take a look at what is going on across the North Atlantic, and after which we'll talk about the latest forecast for the hurricane season. So the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, NOAA, is expecting a very active season. They gave a pretty aggressive forecast, and so we're going to be delving into it. Alright, and so as we take a look at the satellite imagery of the North Atlantic, we can see that there is some activity moving through some areas, and also that tropical wave. So the wave axis is currently over French Guiana. It continues to propagate to the west, and there is some activity in association with it. We can see that here as we take a closer look at the area. And again, as this continues to the west, it will likely increase the rainfall activity across parts of the eastern Caribbean. And so moving a bit further to the west, here we can still see the southwesterly flow across the region for parts of Hispaniola, Puerto Rico, and the Virgin Islands. And there could definitely be some additional rainfall in the area today, and even additional heavy rain in some spots. But aside from that, nothing significant is noted across the rest of the Caribbean and up to the Bahamas, parts of Central America. Pretty quiet right now, nothing crazy going on. Looking at the rainfall forecast for today, we can see that it gets pretty colorful on this map across some areas. So going up to Florida, parts of the Bahamas, Turks and Caicos, Jamaica, Cuba, not seeing a lot of color indicating that, it's not going to be a lot of rain, maybe 0.1 inch of rainfall today, not even half an inch of rain in most of these areas. But then as we head to Hispaniola, especially towards the Dominican Republic, there could be probably just under or right around an inch of rainfall, and there could also be some decent rain in parts of Puerto Rico today, not so much the Virgin Islands. And then as we head to the Lesser Antilles, as I said, with that tropical wave approach, and as we head into tomorrow, there is definitely going to be an increase in rain across some areas. Northern South America remains active, probably up to 2-3 inches of rain in some areas. Similar thing for Panama, we're seeing a lot of color there. And then as we head to Costa Rica, the Pacific coast of Nicaragua, parts of Honduras, El Salvador, southern Guatemala, there could also be some showers around Belize, maybe passing shower or so, nothing much today. Then for the Bay Islands off Honduras and the Cayman Islands as well, much is not expected, and it is the same thing for the ABC Islands, Aruba, Bonaire, Curacao. Much rain is not expected as we're going to be heading through today. It is going to be a windy day in parts of the northwestern Caribbean, just offshore Belize, and also for the Bay Islands off Honduras. Seeing those vibrant purple and blue shadings popping up, and also for parts of the southeastern Caribbean, winds may slightly kick up, but elsewhere it's not going to be too active. Winds anywhere from around 5 going up to 10 knots or so. As it pertains to the tropical wave, as we're going to be heading into tomorrow and Monday, it should make its way into the Caribbean. So, as I said, there is going to be that increased chance of rain for the eastern Caribbean islands as the wave makes its way through. And sometimes with these tropical waves, yes, it is great that they increase the rainfall, but at times they may actually unleash a lot of rain, and that can trigger flooding. Not saying that will happen, but that is a possibility that we want to keep in mind sometimes with the rainfall events associated with these weather systems. Going on to NOAA's forecast. So they released their forecast yesterday, and it is a very aggressive one, as I mentioned at the start of the video. So they are expecting that there could be 17 to 25 named storms, of which 8 to 13 become hurricanes, and 4 to 7 major hurricanes. And a major hurricane is category 3, 4, or 5. So they're expecting that, hey, it's going to be very active this year. And then to the left side of your screen, we're seeing that pie chart. So we can see that mustard shading, 85% chance of above normal activity, only a 10% chance of a near normal season, and 5% chance of a below normal season. So the chances for a near or below normal season are pretty slim compared to that 85% chance of above normal activity. And if you're wondering what's considered normal or average, that is 14 named storms, of which 7 become hurricanes and 3 major hurricanes. So that is what is considered average. So far, all predictions are calling for an above average hurricane season. And I mean, the upper end of these numbers would be worst case scenario, because 25 named storms, 13 hurricanes, 7 major hurricanes, that is definitely hyperactive. And even the lower end, 17 named storms, 8 hurricanes, 4 major hurricanes, that is also very active. And even though we're seeing these numbers, sometimes it only takes just one hurricane to really be the talk of the season. And I always use the 2022 season as an example. It produced average number of storms, yet there was major Hurricane Ian, which devastated the Gulf Coast of Florida. So sometimes it only takes one, because there can be a lot of cyclones and a lot of them stay offshore, and it can be the case where not a lot of them actually form, but the ones that do really do some serious damage. But there are multiple things to consider with this hurricane season. And the reason why NOAA is expecting such an active season is because of the above average temperatures for one in the North Atlantic. So the sea surface temperatures are very warm. We are definitely transitioning to a La Nina, which is what allows for more favorable conditions that would enhance tropical cyclone development in the Atlantic basin. So for those reasons, it's likely that we're going to be seeing a very active season. And with La Nina comes a more dominant area of high pressure. So we may tend to see a bit more action in the Western Atlantic, which includes the Caribbean, the Gulf, and near the Bahamas off the southeastern U.S. So it could be a very active year, and it is good to ensure that there are some plans in place or some early preparations just in case you'll be affected. And that includes, trimming those very tall trees, those very huge trees where if the branches should blow off in the event of strong winds, they damage your home, your vehicle, anything on your property or, someone else's property. So if it is capable of doing that kind of damage, it's good to trim those trees, and it is also good to have an emergency kit just in the case of any emergency where you need to grab and go, and to also have all your important files and documents in something that is reachable, waterproof, and safe. So it is good to have those plans ahead of time just in case of any natural disaster. It doesn't even have to be a hurricane. It could be an earthquake, and those come without warning. Not saying it's going to happen again, but it's just good that we are prepared because we're in that zone that is prone to such hazards, which can become disasters. And so one of the best ways to prepare in terms of this upcoming hurricane season is to actually stay informed. And that is the reason, the whole point of my channel. I do daily updates to keep you guys abreast with what is going on across the North Atlantic. So this is something that I really dedicate a lot of time to. Despite, a lot of other things that I have going on right now, I make sure that I put aside some time to have a video posted every day to keep you guys updated on what is happening. And so I will continue to do so as the hurricane season commences. And as I mentioned, we could see something try to get itself together in the Western Caribbean. That is not a guarantee, but it seems pretty much plausible for the month of June, which I'll talk more about as time goes by. So that is it for right now, and I really do hope you found this video to be informative. But if you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments. I'll respond when I get the chance to do so. And remember to always be weatherwise.